pretty good.
Yeah. All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is our first show of men talking real about sex. My name is Kenny. We've got Bryan here and Trey. Bryan is just a guy who really can't wait to say fuck on the internet. So, Bryan,
Fuck.
there we go. We got that out of the way. So our first episode, this is our first time ever doing this show. So we're going to talk about our first time, doing the deed.
First time
Doing the deed.
ever.
Bryan's very nervous. Bryan, when I
Maybe
told
just a little bit.
when I told Bryan we were going to do an episode on our first time, I think he shit his pants almost immediately.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear his story. Trey's got two stories, so he has to go first and last.
Yay.
So, fuck it. Let's get underway. Trey, you're up, brother.
Oh my god. This is gonna be embarrassing, but I don't care.
It's all embarrassing.
Let's go. It's whatever. So, my first time happened when I was dating this girl back in 8th grade. And so we were like 15.
8th grade?
Yeah.
God damn! Getting it in early,
Yeah.
son.
Man.
All
I
right,
was
8th
almost
grade.
in 9th grade. It's okay.
That 8th grade summer. You know that awkward 8th grade
Yeah.
summer.
That's a good transition.
So I was like 15 at the time this was happening, and so we were dating for like 5 months. We decided to go out to dinner with her and her parents to this Chinese restaurant on Jefferson Point. I don't know the name of it. But like,
Doesn't matter.
so like halfway through through the dinner, she stares at me, and then she's like eyeing the door, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And
You get a nervous twitch?
and she was like, I'm not feeling so good. I'm going to go to the car. And I'm like, have fun. I'm going to eat.
Okay.
Not
And she was like, no, come with me in case like I throw up or whatever. And I'm like, all right. So we went to the car. We're hanging out. We're listening to music for a little bit. And then it starts raining really hard. And we're listening to Purple Rain in the car.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
But if you don't know
Yeah.
Trey, anyone that doesn't know Trey is Michael Jackson and Prince are huge aphrodisiacs. So as soon as Purple Rain came on, it was over. I'm surprised Trey's pants didn't just fall the fuck off immediately.
That wasn't even planned, and she attacked me first.
What?
Yeah, she attacked me first. Like, at first we're just making out, and then, like, she just takes my face, looks at me, and then gets on top of me and starts ripping my clothes off, starts ripping her clothes off, and I'm over here like, oh my god, we're about to do the things. So, like, we keep making out, I'm trying not to be nervous, and then, like, she gets on top of me, and then I'm just like, I'm frozen in fear. Like, there's nothing going on here. Like, I just stopped kissing her, and she's just like, are you okay? And I'm like, I don't know what to do, and I'm terrified, and I'm so sorry.
And so she obviously took
She was
the
like,
lead.
yeah, she took the lead on that one, so that ended, and I like called her the next day. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I was really nervous. I've never done this before. This is the first time for everything. And she was like, it's mine too. And I'm like, you're that ready? Okay.
She level skipped.
Like, she was
She
ready.
level skipped.
And so like, she's like, yeah, don't worry about it. We can try it again some other time or whatever, or whenever you're ready. And I'm like, I'll be ready next time.
I'll be ready. Yeah,
I'll be
I'm
ready.
ready. I've got
Don't
to worry
worry
about it.
I got this.
Trey's in there pumping himself up.
Yeah,
you got this next
I'm
time.
drinking the protein shakes. I'm lifting weights and everything. I'm like going fucking Rambo on everything. I'm like, I'm gonna be ready. So it was a Saturday night. She told me that her parents were going out. They were hanging out with some friends. They're probably gonna get drunk and they're not gonna come home for a while. So I was like, okay, that's cool. And she was like, yeah, come over and watch some movies with me. And I'm like, we're not gonna watch any movies.
No, that's
We're not-
that's coming from the banging.
I
That's
call
what-
my
yeah.
cousin. I ask him to drop me off because I don't have a license. And so he's like, so you going to your girlfriend's house? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, what are you going to do? Watch movies and pet the dogs.
Pet the dogs is how I'm referring to sex from now on. I'm gonna go home and pet the dogs.
He's like, whatever you're doing, just make sure that you're safe. And I'm like, I will be safe because I'm just going to pet the dogs. It didn't end up petting the dogs. Didn't end up watching the movie either. We were supposed to watch The Emperor's New Groove. Didn't
Great
even get to
film.
the funny parts.
Disney is the devil.
Yeah.
And my family was right the whole time.
Disney is the devil. That's great. I'm sorry, I didn't know your first time was a rape. If I'd have known that, I probably wouldn't have brought it up.
I would like to say surprise instead of rape.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Her animal instinct just took over.
Apparently.
I was the prey and I wasn't ready for it.
You were the gazelle.
I
Yeah.
gotta say, referring to sex as we gotta go home and pet the dogs.
We gotta go.
It's fucking wild.
We gotta go home and pet
Can
the
you
dogs.
imagine being at the bar and be like, hey, y'all, have a good night. We gotta go home. We gotta go pet the dogs.
We gotta pet the dogs. These
They're
fucking
like, what
dogs
the
need
fuck?
me.
Pet
These
the
dogs.
I mean, American Psycho, he's like, I gotta return videotapes.
Yeah, I gotta return
that's
some
right.
videotapes. I gotta return
I
some
gotta
videotapes.
return that red box.
Oh,
Damn.
fucking episode 1, we get an American Psycho reference. I'm very happy about that. All right, I guess I'll let Bryan drink some more so that he can build up his man courage
Yeah.
to
need more
tell
liquor
his
courage.
story. My story is it's a little bit different. Mine, I was exactly 15 years old. We took a trip to Cedar Point via my school. It was the post-prom trip. Every year after prom, they load all us badass kids in a bus and take us to Cedar Point. My girlfriend at the time told me ahead of time, hey, listen, you're losing your virginity on this bus. I freaked the fuck out. I didn't know. I was like, okay, are we doing it on the way there? Are we doing it on the way home? And am I just going to sneak behind a roller coaster and we're going to get it in? How does this work? So the whole way there, I'm making out with her, trying to make my moves. She's like, no, you got to wait. So we wait, go to Cedar Point all day. I'm 15 years old. I'm a fucking teenager. I've got raging hormones. I can't focus on riding the fucking Raptor because she's going to ride me on the way home.
Like a raptor.
So,
Warrior.
not quite like Trey's Raptor, but still, nonetheless.
That was T-Rex, man.
That's, well, if you don't move, they can't see you. So
That's a lie.
so we get back on the bus on the way home, and as it turns out, the guidance counselor or whoever it was that was in charge of babysitting us, because that's essentially all she was fucking doing, fell asleep in the front of the bus. At which time all the 15, 16, and 17-year-olds on the bus decide, you know what? It's fucking orgy time. So there I am, losing my virginity in the back of a charter bus where there's a couple sitting in front of me, a couple sitting beside me, and a couple sitting behind me who are all doing the same thing. This is a giant orgy. It's the most fucking pressure-filled thing I've ever felt in my entire life. The whole back of the bus just smelled like sex. There was no way of denying anything that was going on. And so we're sitting there and, we're going at it, and it's just not happening for me. And there's no way that this is going to happen for me in any way. And so I faked it. My first time, I faked it. And I didn't know. I know I'm the fucking worst. And unfortunately, if she's I'm sorry. But I definitely faked it. And she should have, to be fair, she should have known that I faked it, because afterwards she asked me, hey, did you come? I said, yeah, twice. Not knowing that once a guy comes, like, it's lights out. Like, the party's over. Like,
Yeah. I need a nap,
yeah.
a sandwich, something to drink.
Some Cheez-Its. I need something before we can continue, and that happens again. So that was my first time in a nutshell, and not nutting in a shell or any other form there.
Nutting at all.
However, I will say, to her defense, thank you, because I was I was a skinny kid with a giant head who had no money, and she took pity on me or something and decided to give me vagina. And so that was really fucking awesome, because it wasn't going to happen for me any other way. So, and we actually went on to date and had okay relationship until some other shit happened. But that's not what this show's
We're not
about.
gonna go there.
That's not what this show's about. That's not what this show's about.
Man.
That's a whole different show. That's a whole different show.
Ma'am, if you're watching this, you give Ride Warrior a completely different definition. I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
Sounds like a great time.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck.
man.
All right, Bryan.
All right. So.
Yes, this is great because I just heard right now that Bryan's stepson is watching this.
Oh,
so
God.
this is even better now.
It was fall of 2004. And the only reason I remember that is because I just got arrested for shoplifting. And I actually met her while I was doing community service.
Of course you did. Classy girl.
I like where this is going.
Yeah, so
far.
we start hanging out, we start dating. There was a lot
You mean the girls that do community service?
Yeah.
They put out?
Yeah,
All
so
right.
there was a lot of hardcore, just eating each other's faces for a solid 2 months. And then one day we're hanging out at my house. I used to live with my aunt. I had the whole basement to myself. My aunt was upstairs watching TV or doing something, and we were just
How
hanging
old
out
were you?
downstairs. I was 18.
18. Oh, so you're a
Yeah.
full-grown man by the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Oh, look at you.
And we were just
He was
hanging out
holding out. He
downstairs.
was a good boy.
It was on the weekend, just hanging out downstairs. We were actually watching a movie, and then the movie just got boring. I don't fucking remember what the hell we were watching. But next thing I know, we're hardcore making out, and she had gotten on top of me, and it was the first time we were ever in a bed together. And she just reached down. I'd never done any of this. I was nervous as fuck. And pants came off. She laid down. I went in, and it was a solid rabbit pumping of 2 minutes, and then it was it. It was amazing. It was the greatest
Rabbit-
2 minutes of my life.
Rabbit
I
pumping.
discovered one of the greatest things ever. And then we laid there. I might have fell asleep. I don't know. I'm going to say I probably did. And then I woke up, and we went for round 2, and it was longer than 2 minutes.
I just want to say between...
But to this day, my aunt was right upstairs watching TV, just laying on the couch. I'm sorry if you're watching this, Auntie. That happened.
Oh, Tia.
I'm sorry. I love you. And yeah, it was cool. It was fun. I loved it. I loved it enough. I turned around and married her.
Oh, wow. No, you don't ever marry the first woman.
I did.
You don't ever do that.
Yeah,
That's,
That's rare.
Yeah, you should have known me back then. That would have been...
Well, I learned my lesson now.
Yeah, well, it happens.
Too late.
It happens. I also want to say between rabbit pumping and petting dogs that no animals were harmed in this filming of men talking real about sex. We're giant, well, I don't want to say animal lovers because that's... Well, you shouldn't say that. That's
not on here.
No, not on here.
That's
definitely get taken
different-
wrong
Animal
way.
advocates. We're animal advocates.
Someone would definitely cut and paste that the wrong way.
Yeah,
and we're
that's-
online
that-
talking
that
about
could-
we love animals.
Yeah.
Talking real about sex.
And I don't feel like getting those emails from people I
It's fine. I'm the one that deletes the email. That's fine. All right, and Trey has his other first
Oh yeah,
time.
you got round 2 first time.
Oh, man. Oh, I feel like this one's a much better experience.
This was
This is a much better
It really is.
Yes.
Oh, that's not fuck you. That's not what your face
No,
said.
I saw that smirk.
No, it's just
He's still like, well.
the night petrified me. It was weird. So I was a freshman when I was going to Elmhurst, and I had
a wild summer.
Yeah.
No, that
Both
was
freshmen
off the
year.
chain.
Shit.
yeah. There was this boy in my choir class that was gay, and apparently he thought I was cute and whatever. And I'm like, thank you.
Apparently awkward worked out well
I
for
was
you.
a very sweet and shy kid back then. Compared to what I am now, I don't know who that person is. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
no doubt.
I was just like, thanks, cool, whatever. He's like, do you want to hang out sometime, go to a party my friends are having this weekend? And I'm like, I'm not doing shit. Fuck it, let's go. So we go there, and I'm drinking a lot of vodka. That's the only thing I like was blueberry
And you know, back
vodka.
then, it was the cheap vodka, in a
No,
plastic,
it was like
it was
raspberry
plastic-
Smirnoff.
it
in a
was-
plastic jug.
It was Burnett's.
Oh, guaranteed headache.
Yeah. So we get drunk, and he's like, hey, you want to go for a walk? I'm like, I don't care. Whatever. I don't know anybody here.
I'll go for a stagger. That's what I'll go for. I'm not gonna go for a walk. I'll go for a stagger.
So we go to the park, we're hanging out, we're just talking, and then we're sitting up on the jungle gym. Like, then there's like the slides and the monkey bars and all that
So you did this in a park.
at a park.
Ooh.
All right, I'm listening.
And so like he looks at me and I look at him very drunkenly, like,
Okay, I know that face.
"You're about to kiss my face, aren't you?" And he's like, "Yeah." And so he just grabs me, like starts making out with me. I've never kissed a boy before. I didn't even know I liked boys yet. And that was just like, this isn't any different. And I'm feeling the same things I feel with the girl, so
Right.
I'm just gonna go with it and see how this goes. And I'm drunk, so this is 10 times more fun to me. And so, like, you know, we're about to, like, we're laying back on the little platform before the slide and everything. And, like, we're just, like, hardcore, like, reaching down each other's pants and just, like, making out hardcore. I look up for just 1 second and I just see a flashlight, like, just beam right onto the slide. And it's a cop.
Oh
Shit.
No.
Oh, no.
I'm like, I'm 16, I'm drunk, and I'm with another man. This isn't happening like this.
No, you're gonna
No.
die.
No.
Like there's a
God forbid, like, my mom would find out because I would probably have been murdered that night by
Oh,
her.
yeah.
In case, like, the cop's like, "Do you know what your son was doing on top of a jungle gym?"
Mm-hmm.
I hope playing.
And drunk.
Yeah, I was playing.
I mean, you were.
Yeah. So,
Not the kind your mom wanted you to have at 16.
so, like, we take off and, like, we're just running in different directions, cutting through the neighborhoods, just trying not to get caught by the cop. We get away from the cop. I end up going to a gas station, and then, like, I'm buying a drink, and he, like, runs into the gas station, and he's like, "Okay, you're here, cool." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm here." And he's like, "You want to go finish what we started?" I'm like, "Finish where, how?" He's like, "We can go in the bathroom," and I'm like, "Absolutely fucking not."
Damn. The gas station
Dude,
bathroom.
Gas station
Ready.
bathroom.
Hell yeah.
I was like, "Absolutely not, because that's not happening." I don't care how drunk I get. You're not having sex with me in a gas
You're still having
station.
flashbacks of almost going to jail. And you're like, you want to do what?
You ain't in the bathroom.
Excuse me?
If I wanted to do it in the bathroom, I'd just let him take me to jail.
Fuck that.
I got offended and I left and I went home. I walked home.
Oh, this is all right.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm sorry. So
I didn't expect the cop part.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
All
cop
right.
part threw me. Apparently Trey's first times were very traumatic, so I really need to thank him for coming on and agreeing to do this, because he could have been like, "Fuck you, Kenny. I'm not talking about my first time. You don't even know. You don't even know."
Oh, man.
It affects me to this day.
I
But
believe you,
before-
and yeah, I believe you.
Before you guys had done anything, like actually had sex, had you done other things
Oh yeah,
besides kissing?
yes.
Really?
There was I had girlfriends before, like starting at 7th grade. From 7th grade until I actually had sex, my goal was to have sex. There wasn't really okay, let's kiss a couple times and then because 7th I was 12. That's when I started masturbating. So I
Right.
figured, that's a good time to start looking for ways to have sex. And so I had done the only thing, I don't want to say the only thing. I had a damn, I don't know how I want to put this. I had used my hands with a lady, but I hadn't used my mouth or my penis yet. So,
Okay.
yeah, I had done that, and funny story. So
Round two.
there, this is all right. This and then we're going on. So I was in 8th grade. And that was back when it was really hot for girls to wear like overalls.
Yeah.
And then they wore like the short tank top
Yeah.
underneath. Yeah. So that was really hot. So my girlfriend at the time was wearing that, and we were standing outside, and you're so fucking horny as a teenager. It's ridiculous. And so her and I are like, she's got her head like sucking my neck. I had a hickey from hell. And I reaching my hand in her overalls. And then
That couldn't
so
have been comfortable.
it could no.
There's
no,
no way that's
fucking
comfortable.
way.
There's no easy way to get down there in overalls.
There's no way it's comfortable for anybody. And then so we decide, and there are like people around us, like friends, like just milling about.
All right.
And so they're like, "Hey, we're gonna move locations." And we're like, "Oh, okay, let's move." So I take my hand out and I wiped it on the back of her overalls.
Oh, you're fucking nasty.
Oh, God damn it. Alright, so I wiped it on the back of her overalls, and her friend immediately called me out. Immediately called me out on it. She's like, oh, you just wiped it on the back of her overalls. I'm like, alright, I'm gonna go home and fucking kill myself because
fuck.
This is the worst thing.
my summer.
There goes that.
I hope she's watching.
Oh, God, I don't.
I've done just
Well, I mean, she knew. Like, it wasn't a secret. So, because I'd gotten called out. All right. So.
Nope, take backsies.
No take backsies. I can't. I did it. Fuck you. Don't judge me. All right. So, this next portion we're going to be reserving kind of for questions that we get from people that want to send in questions. And again, everything is completely anonymous. We're not going to, be like, oh, so-and-so said, John. John. So-and-so said you had an Oompa Loompa fetish. That's not we're not going to do that.
And?
I mean,
the fuck?
So, the question I got was, how come guys are scared to let their woman put a finger in their butt?
Oh. I don't know. I mean, I've had a finger in my butt, but it was by a doctor. And it didn't feel good. I didn't enjoy it one bit. But I guess also the situation was...
See, it's kind of not fair.
Meant to be enjoyed.
It's not fair because I sprung that question on them. And I've had a couple days to think about... First of all, Trey!
No, I'm like going deep in this, no pun intended.
Like knuckle deep?
All the way the elbow.
All the way the elbow, he said. Alright. Fuck. We're so
I just feel like that's just something you need to talk about firsthand because that's kind of a dick move to pull on somebody.
Yeah, you can't just shove your fingers. Yeah, you can't just be like, oh, hey!
Which is how it happened to me.
Oh, no.
I think like common courtesy is just like, hey, you want to try this and see if you like it?
Yeah.
And if you say like, absolutely not, okay, we don't go there. But like if you're just like, work with me here and we'll see how this goes.
We'll finesse it.
I mean, there's a G spot in there for guys for a reason. So if you think about it,
hey, I'm not anti anybody putting a finger in their butt. It's just
do what you want.
Do what you want. We are very, hey, whatever you do in your bedroom or your living room or whatever your car you're in, that's your business.
Unless you're on this show.
We don't give a shit. Unless you're on this show, then it's
we don't tell you all of it.
Then it's everybody's business. So my feeling on it is essentially it's not necessarily that all guys don't want a finger in their butt. It's some guys don't, some guys do. The same way there are some women that don't want anal sex and there are some women that do. So it's not necessarily, just all dudes being like, nah, hell no, you ain't putting no finger in my ass and you ain't doing that. That's not a thing.
Right.
It's, hey, it's not my preference. If you want to stick a finger in somebody's ass, then call whoever's ass you was fingering before you go.
Find somebody else. Right.
So, I think that about wraps it up. I don't know how long we've been going, but
oh man, I was just warming up. Let's keep.
Oh, we're just warming up. We got a few minutes.
What about you? Before you had sex, had you done anything?
No.
Like with
no?
So
So you just jumped right in the water.
So that was like your first any sexual experience.
Yeah, other than kissing and holding hands.
Damn.
And looking deeply into your eyes and telling you she's pretty. I was that kid.
Wow.
Oh shit.
You did listen to a lot of Prince.
Yeah, you're romanticizing all the girls in school. All right.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'd done just about all of it except the sex part, but my mom had like 18 kids, and I was terrified of having a girl pregnant. And because I'd seen what it was like to have all them babies. And I'm like, man, if I get a girl pregnant, then I get stuck with all these babies too. Fuck that. Just give me head. We'll leave it there.
So for reference, Bryan's Latin. So that means...
I got like 20 brothers and sisters. 300 cousins.
And they all pull up in a Fiat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we probably are.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Next time we reunion, we'll find out.
No, I think probably my favorite experience before I actually had sex was I don't even think she was my girlfriend. She was just a girl from around the way. And McCormick Park represent. And then, so, whatever, it's my hood. Anyway, so, she was a girl from around the way, and she would tell me all the time, she's like, I'm a virgin, I can't have sex with you. So finally I got annoyed, and I was like, bullshit, you're not a virgin, quit lying to me. She was like, you don't know I'm lying. I was like, you can only fit one finger in a virgin. There's no way you're a virgin. I didn't even know if that shit was true. But that's why I told her to her face.
She fell for it?
You can only fit one finger in a virgin. There's no way you're a virgin. She was like, so you just gonna call me out? Like, she was pissed. She was
That's the wildest thing to fall for. One finger.
You can only fit one finger.
You would come up with that.
I don't know.
She was a girl around the way.
I just assumed it was true. She still never let me bang it though. Even after that, even after I called her out, never let me. I had to wait till Cedar Point girl came along, and
I gotta say, you had some wild ass friends. You was fingering a girl in an entire group of people
in the street.
We were in the street, and then y'all had a whole orgy in the back of the bus.
Yeah, McCormick Park was wild. No, so the street thing and
we rode bikes around the neighborhood.
Nah, not us. We was thugging. By the grace of God, well, by the grace of my mom, actually, I didn't have kids until after I graduated high school. Because fortunately, my mom was open enough to me to make sure I was practicing safer sex and things like that. So I really lucked out there to have. She wasn't really open about sex. It was just she would drop the condoms off in my underwear drawer and just be like,
"You're gonna do your business anyway."
Yeah, you let me know. Let me know when you need more. And so that's how that went. So I was very fortunate in that aspect because otherwise, that once you get a little taste.
Oh, it's over.
It's over.
It's over.
So, like I said,
fucking 3 times a day.
Yeah. So I
at least
I started discovering myself at 12, and I thought this was the best shit ever.
Hell yeah.
And then I got some pussy, and then all of a sudden,
you figured out it went
my hand just me and you don't get along no more.
You've been lying to me.
You've been the whole fucking time. You betrayed me. That was my first real betrayal. My hand lied to me and told me that it was great, and it wasn't.
That was your first heartbreak right there.
It really was. It really was. And then so after that, it was all, hey, what you doing? Where you going? What you doing? Where you going? So that's the story of our first time. What I think would be awesome is if someone had a wild story about their first time, send it into the Facebook page. Yeah. Obviously, we are going to delete names and redact all that shit because nobody needs to have their business out there except for us three. Yeah. So nobody needs to have their business out there like that.
Secret safe on this side, but we'll let everybody know the funny stories.
Our next show, which will be next Wednesday at 9:30. What do you think we should cover? What sexual subject should we cover?
Ooh.
I'm open to suggestions at this point.
So we do porn.
We do porn. All right, porn. Oh boy. All right. Porn. Actually, I'll save it for next week. I'll save it for next week. All right. Thank you guys for watching so much. We hope to see you next Wednesday, 9:30 p.m. We'll be right back here. Talking porn. So have a good night. Now I gotta get up and it's gonna look really weird because I gotta press stop on this bitch.
Sorry guys.
Sorry about this. Here I go.
We're going to Cedar Point.